Trash into treasure. Well, dinner, cakes, cookies, all the stuff that you see me do on this channel. So for the past couple of weeks, I have saved everything that we have used up that's had a bit left. So I've been doing a bit of a use it up challenge. I've also been doing a clean out of the fridge, freezer and pantry. I've also done a whole lot of homemade stuff, and I'm going to share with you how we've been able to save a lot of money. And this isn't even everything. We had a whole lot of cream that I used up to make butter, buttermilk pancakes, desserts, and other dinners. It's just that I didn't wash the containers out and keep them, but I did keep it in my memory. So that is something. Hershey's syrup, I use that all the time to do our homemade chocolate milk. It saves us a whole lot of money because I get the milk marked down as well. Pineapple, we use this a lot in sandwiches, also on top of chicken parmesanas, and also in pizzas. We had a lasagna this week and I had like about 2 sheets left in this one and about 2 in this one, so I was able to use them up. I then had to open a new packet, but at least it's less things out of the cupboard. We love French toast on the weekends. Well, 3 out of the 4 of us do. And I had found half of this left in the pantry. So it actually lasts a really long time. It was actually cut open as well, and it was just sitting in there. In the supermarket, it actually does sit on a shelf anyway. So I was surprised to found it. So I cut the rest up and then threw it in the freezer just in case. Because you know Murphy's Law, once you find something and you do open it, then you're going to find it's not going to last very long. And so that gave us another option for French toast on a weekend. I had this cheese in the freezer that I had purchased from Aldi, I would say a year ago. I only had about this much in there left over from an Aldi challenge that I literally did do a year ago, feed your family for under $100. And I remember wrapping this up on purpose and putting it in the freezer to save it for the next challenge. And a year later, here we are, and it's not there, but I found it cleaning out the freezer, so I used it up. Chips, goes without saying, these are really good for us to be able to throw in the oven and cook when I don't have time to make my own. I don't mind buying these because one, it then means we have something on the side of our meal and it saves us doing takeaway. We pretty much never do takeaway, so to have these in the freezer saves us a lot. I found a couple more bags, and also probably why I kept them here, because in the freezer that we have, the little one we're cleaning out, no doubt these bags all would have had about a quarter left in them. So you add them all up together, I think it made about 2 sides for a meal. Panko crumbs and Parmesan cheese. I put this together to do our crumbed chicken, and this was a full packet which I've since put into a container to save, and there was only half of this one left, and that they kind of work really well together. But at least now there's less plastic in my cupboard and it's just sitting in a very airtight Tupperware container. My daughter, my son, and myself really like these. My hubby doesn't mind them, but I think he'd prefer something else. We only had about 4 or 5 left in these, and they helped to get us through a meal once. I think this is the lid of one of the pasta sauces that we had in the freezer for a while, so I just threw the lid in there because the container was too hard to wash out. This iced coffee I bought ages ago because everyone kept telling me how amazing it is. I just can't get it to taste the same as Farmers Union iced coffee no matter what I do. But with the little bit that was left in there, I put some milk in it, I shook it up and I put it inside the Farmers Union iced coffee. It kind of disappeared just as quickly. So that might be something to look at in the future. But I probably might not purchase this again. Who knows? If I find it on a mega clearance, I might, but I just kept forgetting to reach for it until I cleaned out the fridge and decided to grab it. I have a whole lot of flour bags. I got them for $1 on clearance. I just emptied them out into a big flour container, so it saved space in the cupboard, but I have been doing a lot of baking, so it won't be long until all of these are gone. We've had a couple of pizzas for meals. Again, they're quick and simple, and these pasta bases were good because they were allergy-free, safe food for my daughter to have. This was the last tin of Champignons that we finally used up For a while it looked like it was something that my daughter couldn't eat, but once her allergy testing came back, she was fine for it. But I put this in there because it then helped us finish the risotto dish that we make. The same with the wine. There would have been less than 1 cup, but that's what we save it for. You can freeze wine. I tend not to. It just sits in the drawer. No one drinks it, so it will sit there for as long as we need. And I make sure that one bottle, we kind of have risotto about once every 2 weeks. The wine's never gone off, so it just sits in the fridge and kind of looks after itself. But I could freeze it into sections if I want. One bottle does 3 meals of the risotto. We finally finished our dino nuggets. These were very cute actually to cook to put on meals. I would make sure that I'd put them on the plate so the dinosaurs all faced the same way. But yeah, a kilo of nuggets. This took us about a month to get through. As you know, I do a whole lot of baking, and I just pulled these out because there was less than half a packet there, and I made a bulk lot of biscuits, so I just included it because we've used it up. I got some sugar from Foodland for 79 cents. I bought only about 5 bags. I probably should have bought more, but these got tipped out into the big sugar container just to make sure it was all together and it's less in the pantry. I still have more in the pantry to use up, but again, I do a lot of baking, so we will eventually go through it all. My daughter finished an oat packet. It took her about a month, and there was a little bit in there, so I just tipped it into the next container. Because she puts milk in it and zaps it in the microwave, it just all turns into a bit of a mush anyway, so yeah, used it up. This packet, I accidentally bought rolled oats instead of the instant oats, but I put this in cookies, and it did take me again about a month to go through all the baking, but I'm glad that I did it, and now I'll be going back to just the home brand. Oh, here's the pasta that we would have had with the pasta sauce. I got some dumplings marked down from Aldi. These were just a little fun thing. I will, however, though, cook them in the steamer next time in our rice cooker rather than boiling them in the water. But it was just good to have something a little bit different. And I paired them with the Hokkien noodles that we had that I got on markdown, and I just added in some sauce to it. There was literally 1 tablespoon of baking powder left. It had sat in the cupboard forever and a day, and I didn't want to just tip it into the new container. So with all the cookies I've been making, it took about 3 different batches, but I finally used the little last bit up. Before I was actively making my own butter, we have got some of this Lupac butter that was on clearance. My daughter has this for her toast and stuff, whereas most of us just do margarine. So after a month, she finally finished this one. Sometimes too, I will chop a bit off and use it in mashed potatoes for our meals. In the Ziploc bags would have been various chicken Kievs and Crumbs chicken products, and so each bag would have just been representative of using up 1 or 2 bits left over to finish a meal. Oh, our pasta for our risotto, half a packet does 1 meal, so no doubt, yeah, as I said, over a month we would have done 2 risottos, so used it up. Finally finished this, having the French toast and the pancakes that we've been having over the past couple of weeks. The honey that we go through all the time, and if you remember in the bottom it was just a little bit, I destroyed part of the container with the heat, but I am glad that I was able to use it up and get rid of the last little bits that were in there. And last is cinnamon sugar that I put on top of mashed banana that is on our toast, and again it probably took me well over a month to finish it, but I thought I'd add it to the pile. So there you can see we have had a lot of use it up stuff, and I saved it all just to see how much stuff that we do go through, and when I make a real conscious effort to make sure that we are finishing things off and using it up, just to kind of see how much stuff that we do go through. I know that with our grocery shopping lately, I've only been able to have to buy pantry staples and things to replace to create stockpiles, and I'll be going through that in future videos. If you liked this video, please give it a like and a follow, and you can check out other videos here. Thanks for watching. Bye! And the last is the cinnamon sugar that I use on the mashed potato. Who? We don't put cinnamon sugar on mashed potato. Oh my gosh.